some bad news for you. As you can see behind me, that is not my Bronco. Most of the purpose of my channel here is to kind of walk you through everything on my Bronco, how-tos, DIY type things, and then also to showcase some products, as you can see down there. Because Lifestyle Off-Road is all about building off-road capable heavy-duty products for the 2021 Plus Bronco. Well, unfortunately, we had an issue and got into a car accident. The Bronco is currently sitting in a repair shop and it is getting fixed. It wasn't a small accident, but it wasn't so big to actually total it out. I'm not posting pictures or anything of it at this time. Everybody in the accident's okay, that's what's the most important. But Bronco content is paused until I can get my truck back. Hopefully that will be soon. Due to the accident, that means I'm gonna have to do a new bumper in the front. So there will be a big install video on that. The rear bumper is ready to go on. It's also available on our website, lifestyleoffroad.com, to order now. So go check that out. Just so you know, the pictures on the website are pre-production model because I don't have my truck, so I can't put one on it. So the finalized pictures will be up as soon as we can get them, but that is available to order. And then right now what I'm gonna do is kind of just show you some things we have in the works. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this Jeep a little bit too. I haven't seen any videos that give a perspective of a Jeep from a Bronco guy. I've never been a Jeep person. Might never be a Jeep person, but there's some things I actually like about this. There's some things I don't like about this. So I'm just gonna break it down quick. But first, let's talk Bronco parts. Now, of course, the day after my Bronco gets hit, I finally get my Whipple air filter. So there will be an install video on this. Not like this is going to be hard to install, but these filters are just literally held in there with some pressure. There's no clamp or anything. So I'll go through it, take some video, take some pictures, and we'll talk about how well this fits. I'm expecting it to fit very well. This looks very well made. Comes in at about 94, 95 bucks shipped. It's washable, reusable. I put things like this on all my vehicles. I've probably got over 300,000 miles on washable filters, and I have yet to have an issue. And most of those are all off-road type vehicles. So they see dirt, dust, sand, snow, you name it, it's been through it. So review coming on that as soon as I can. Some other things that we have in the works are, we have these little brackets here that are for the trail sights on the Bronco. This is pre-production again, but you will be able to mount like a flag, a CB antenna, some lights, kind of whatever you want. Simple, inexpensive. These should be up on our website soon. We also have the third brake light riser that will be coming out soon as well. Basically all these things are waiting on me to verify fitment, make sure I've got the right hardware for all the packages kind of thing, and then we'll get them coded, get them on the website ready to ship to you guys. So that's coming out too. We're hoping to have these priced much lower than the competition. I think these are like 80, 90 bucks. There's nothing to this. So the biggest thing we have going besides our bumpers is we're working on this table. Now, the hardest part is we really want to make this so it's no drill. And I believe I have it figured out, but again, don't have my Bronco. So I have literally bags and bags of nuts and bolts. Just trying to figure out what the best solution for the customer so that they can easily mount that, make it sturdy, etc. So I'm gonna do this on the ground, but this is again pre-production, so guess it's not the prettiest. It's not coated, it's bare steel. Basically, this mounts against the back of the Bronco. So this will be on your tailgate. This side just simply folds down. Now, this is a tray. We did this so it's stronger. So you can put something on here, and if you bump it, whatever, it's not going to fall off. There's a small lip to hold your items. But then we also have this top shelf. It's got these latches under here that make it super sturdy. So both these shelves are going to be able to hold a fair amount of weight. I don't know what you're going to put up here that's going to weigh 40, 50 pounds, but this thing, I don't see how it's going to have a problem holding that. Realistically, if you're starting to overload it with more weight than that, you're going to start tweaking the tailgate. The tailgate on the Bronco is aluminum. So these latches are pretty slick. There's just a button down here, folds down, this folds up, and then this is your typical Molly pattern. So you can have all your bags down here. I'm going to use this as kind of like a kitchen setup. I'm probably not going to camp a ton out of the Bronco, but when I do, or even if I'm just on the trail, it'd be nice to just have a few things, like a few bags hanging down with some napkins, some silverware type of thing, so that you fold it down, you can make your lunch, make a sandwich, make whatever for the kids, type of thing. So that's what the main use is. That's what we have in mind building it. So hopefully within a couple weeks, which I know I've said that before, but due to unforeseen circumstances, that's been delayed. So look for this soon. We're pretty proud of this one. I think it came out pretty good. Like I said, we just got to finalize mounting. Okay, so after the accident, I got a rental car. Obviously, I need one. Sold 2 vehicles to get the Bronco, so the Bronco is my daily and my adventure rig. So when I pulled up to Enterprise to pick up my rental car, I was slightly surprised that this is what they gave me. They told me they had a Gladiator, and I said, yeah, that'll work. But I really wasn't expecting them to have a Gladiator Rubicon for me to use as my rental. Usually you get into a rental car and it's nothing that's even comparable to the vehicle that you owned. So this is not brand new. These things have been out for a while. This one is a 2020. It's got 57-ish thousand miles on it. Got some no-name all-terrain tires on it. They've been fine in the snow. It just, I've never heard of a sail loon. I don't even know how you say that. So these are 33 though. Kind of looks like a Bridgestone type tread pattern, but I'm not here to review that. Overall though, my impression, I don't dislike this vehicle. It's pretty comfortable to drive. Realistically, I don't think it's any more quiet than the Bronco, and this is the hardtop. It has, I think they call them freedom panels, so it's 3 separate panels. I think my Bronco soft top is just as quiet. So it's the middle of winter here. Right now it's -2 degrees out. It's been windy, blustery, cold. I don't think this is extremely quiet by any means, and I just showed you the tires, so it's not like I'm getting a lot of road noise when I drive it. Now, by no means is it unbearable, but this vehicle, my Bronco price tag is right at like 47. It's a black diamond Sasquatch. This is much more expensive. This is 53 to 57 for a Rubicon in the Gladiator trim. So when you're putting that big of a price difference, you would expect it to be a little more premium, and I just don't see that in a lot of aspects. It's got a few things over the Bronco, that's for sure. The more I drive it, the more I realize that having a bed wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. For an adventure type truck, this would be sweet to be able to put a bed rack, even just a tonneau cover, and throw all your crap back here. With that being said, the hatch of the Bronco is pretty big as well, so that will work. It's not like I'm going to go trade in my Bronco for one of these, by no means, but it's kind of fun. The thing is long. It currently is sitting in my wife's parking spot where her F-150 goes. This thing does not fit in the garage where the Bronco goes, so that's not fun on days like today where it's super cold out and I've got to leave it outside. So that's one negative check mark for sure for the Gladiator over the Bronco. Sorry, I wanted to call it a Rubicon. I guess it is, but onto the back. Both car seats fit, just like I've shown you in the Bronco, but it is tighter. Now, for the kids, it's fine, but you can see the front seat isn't moved all the way back, but we're pretty much right up against it. There's maybe a tiny bit of room back here. It's doable. The Bronco definitely has a little bit more space in between the seats. It works. So Bronco is a little more roomy. This leather is not as great as the marine grade vinyl either. Now, I've said that 100 times where I love my marine grade vinyl seats, but this vinyl leather feels like a cheap vinyl. This reminds me of leather that was in my like 86 S10 pickup, like the old vinyl work trucks. It's not super plush. It just kind of has like a plasticky feel to it. So I'm not a huge fan of these seats by any means. The doors are also very small. Now I realize it's a pickup, so it had to be designed a little different. It's very similar to just a Wrangler though. I think the front doors are actually the same, and the back doors may also be the same too. I'm pretty sure they are. Again, going up front, here's the inside of the Jeep. It is nice that they have grab handle here on both sides. The doors though, they feel very small, and they're a lot heavier, that's for sure, than the Bronco. Now it is a full frame window. That adds a lot of weight. The mirror's on there, so that adds to it as well. Let's jump inside though and kind of take a look. Now, it is nice to have lights in the middle. Now I do like the freedom of having the open Bronco top, but that is nice, especially having to park outside. I leave early in the morning. You can just see more as you're getting in the vehicle. But the one thing that this thing definitely excels at is this stereo in this Jeep, 4,000 times better than the Bronco. I don't see any stamps on it anywhere that says what it is. So again, it's a rental. I don't know if it's like a premium upgrade or what it is. But the stereo sounds fantastic. Moving on to kind of the instrument panel and everything. Overall, I like this. It works. Pretty comparable to the Bronco's dash and screen. There's a couple little things that it has over the Bronco that I do like more. For some reason, the screen off button I find really neat and handy. The screen is bright, and I realize you can turn down the brightness level and everything, but I don't know, that's just kind of a cool little feature to be able to hit it and just kill it, make it dark. I do like that the Bronco window switches are down here. I feel like that's just a little bit easier. Now, being a Jeep, it does have a manual transfer case. I like that, but at the same time, I don't completely hate the Bronco where you can just hit the button and it just does what you need it to do. I feel like I might have gotten some ice buildup or some things underneath this, because it is hard to even get into 4 high every now and then. Now, being a rental, I'm sure it's been abused a little bit. But I have noticed that. The other thing that's interesting in this, it has the auto start stop. It doesn't work. I don't know what is going on with it, but it doesn't work at all. Not a bad thing, but kind of interesting. So, being this is a Rubicon though, I do have front and rear locker in it. You have to turn the front and rear on at the same time. So, big check mark for the Bronco where you can do them independently. This does have the sway bar disconnect, where mine has to manually be disconnected if I want to do that. It does have some neat little features though on the radio. You go to the off-road pages. I did find this kind of cool. This, I feel like, gives you more information than I'm able to get out of anything factory in the Bronco. I like that it'll actually tell me the coolant temp in a degree. In the Bronco, all you have is a gauge much like this one over here, so I don't know what the actual temperature is. In the Bronco, you can get these readouts, so that's nice, but this gives me the latitude and longitude, the altitude. The Bronco has similar things, that's for sure, but this just kind of gives you a little bit more. Obviously, Jeep's been doing this a little bit longer, so they have a better idea of what. And there we go. Overall, it's fairly basic, fairly easy to get used to. The one thing about this shifter, and I know it's because of this, but the shifter is so far over. You can see right here how far it is into the passenger side. So when I'm driving, I always grab this before I realize I've got the wrong one. It feel like I'm really having to reach to get it. A couple cool things. Let me turn this all the way off. The animation on this is very cool when it starts. I don't know how much of this you can see. There's animation that pops up over here. There's some over here. I feel like they've just really fine-tuned the interior, and it's got a good feel. It adds a little excitement to it. Yeah, like I said, I don't completely hate this thing. I'm not a huge fan of modern day diesels, but outfitting one of these diesel trucks, this one's not a diesel, but it's available with a diesel. Outfitting and building one could be a pretty fun little project. I've got 6 or 7 friends that have these and are building them up. It's a very capable vehicle. You do have to get used to how long it is, so that's can be a hindrance. But overall, yeah, it's been a fair replacement for the Bronco. It's got the rock rails that are tucked in there. It's got the heavy duty bumpers. The rear bumper has this. So overall, I've not completely disliked driving it. You do notice that it wanders on the road. So the Bronco independent front suspension does win all day long for road drivability. But at the same time, right now, if I were to go buy this, I could click a few buttons, buy enough parts that I could put 40s, Dana 60s under this and make one hell of an off-road crawler. So my pocketbook isn't that big, but it's kind of nice that there's options. Now those options are coming for the Bronco and they'll be here soon, but it would, if you're getting impatient waiting for your Bronco, I wouldn't rule this out as an option. It's definitely a competitor. It's definitely what Bronco was looking at when Ford decided to come back out with it. They knew this is competition, and you can see that. Driving both vehicles, you can definitely tell. Another thing, people complain about Bronco gas mileage. My Bronco, in my other videos, you can see I'm averaging at least 16. I can't get over 13 in this. And the other thing is this does not want to go like the Bronco does. The Bronco, I feel like, is happy going 80 miles an hour. You're not even trying to go that fast, but it just wants to go. This thing hits 65, 70, and it just kind of that's its happy spot. That's where it wants to cruise. So I'm driving this thing incredibly slow in comparison, and I am getting terrible gas mileage in it. So I found that to be kind of interesting. I know a lot of it is the gearing for the Rubicon package, but overall, in that area, it lacks. Yeah, overall, the power has been decent, though. I do miss my twin-turbo V6, but we'll have that back soon enough. So, again, if you are impatient, you're tired of waiting for your Bronco, go drive one of these. They're nice, they're expensive, but you wouldn't miss out on a lot of your Bronco features. I do think down the road though, you'll drive a Bronco and then you're gonna end up trading one of these in for it, depending on what you want to do. If you get too caught up on having the bed, I can definitely see where it has its advantages. I don't know that there's a clear winner either way, honestly. So for me, I'm gonna be happier in the Bronco just for its creature comforts and how comfortable it is just sitting in the seats and driving it down the road. But if something were to happen and I were to lose my Bronco, this would definitely be on my short list to check out. So that's about as honest of a review I can give for Jeep versus Ford. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have my Bronco back soon and I can start giving you guys more content. Thanks for watching.